shit all over the place over. So then, yeah.
Mama Bees.
150?
150?
What did you say?
How did you know that? I zoomed in to 150.
You said 150.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I must have said it subconsciously
He
then.
definitely didn't.
Maybe you're a
I was
telepath,
continuing
dude.
the Lion King song.
Cody said 150.
No, Cody didn't say shit until then.
I think you might be a telepath, dude.
Maybe I'm clairvoyant.
Did you watch
Oh,
Dr.
shit.
Sleep recently?
No, I didn't see it yet.
I haven't either. I literally own it. I have yet to watch it.
I read
to
it.
watch it. The book?
Read it, yeah.
Is the book good?
It's middle of the road Stephen King. Let's put
Okay, so compared to The Shining, okay, have you read The Shining?
that. Yes, Cody.
Okay, hey, I didn't know. I know you're a Stephen King boy, but I didn't know.
I've read all the Steves.
All of them?
All of them.
Even it?
Of course I've read it.
Damn. Wait, how
Boring.
thick is The Shining?
The Shining it's not bad. It's not bad. The thickest is The Stand, I think.
Really?
I think so. That's a fat book.
I'm trying to watch all the movies. I have yet to watch I haven't watched The Stand. I haven't watched Salem's Lot, which I hear Salem's Lot's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The Stand are you going to watch the miniseries?
Wait, is there two?
I think there's a movie and a miniseries. You should watch the miniseries.
Okay.
The movie's a pile.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
I did learn, did you like Haunting of Hill House?
On the Netflix, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I learned that's taken from a really old story, right?
Yeah.
And apparently Stephen King adapted it in a movie called Rose Red.
Really?
You ever heard of this?
Uh-uh.
And apparently there's like a 60s movie called The Haunting or A Haunting or something like that that's all about it.
Isn't it called The Haunting of Hill House? Because
No,
they made
just-
the house on Haunted Hill? I thought that was the
It's
thing.
literally called The Haunting or A Haunting or
Okay.
something. It's apparently pretty good, but
Wow.
I was listening about it and they have like all the kids' names, but they're not related in the movie.
Wow.
Interesting.
Like, what are all the kids' names? Like, was there like a Tess and like a fucking...
Yeah, the
You know what
sister
I'm
was
saying,
Tessie.
Luke
Okay,
and all
gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nessie, right? No.
Or something. I don't know.
What,
but
the one that killed herself. Oops.
Was it...
The bent neck lady.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I'm assuming by now you should know that.
I hope so.
Yeah, apparently all the kids in the show are not related in the movie, but they have all the same names, which is really weird. I don't know. I should watch it.
Yeah, I guess so. I
You know
guess.
You know
that's
what
the
I've
only
been
way.
into lately? Italian horror movies.
Oh, you're in
Really?
there, huh?
Yeah, it's Argento and I can never pronounce this fucker's name right. I think it's Lucio Fulci.
Lucio Ford.
You ever heard of him?
Uh-uh.
He's he apparently makes like super gross horror movies.
Did he make those
Ooh.
Italian zombie
Yeah,
movies?
yeah.
Gotcha.
He made Zombie.
All right.
Have you saw that one?
Yeah, I've seen Zombie.
I love when the zombie fights the shark. That's
Yeah,
like my
that's
favorite
funny.
part in the movie.
It's
All
really
right,
funny.
listen, you're just drawing me in with a zombie fighting a shark.
Dude.
Like,
It's the first one. I've seen the first one. It's a good movie. Because from my understanding, they had Night of the Living Dead, right?
Yep.
And the Italians were then trying to copycat
Yep.
horror movies in America, and he made Zombie. I don't understand how they got a person to physically fight a shark
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how they
Good-
did that.
It's good casting.
Yeah. You know what movie with an underwater scene that I watched recently that I was shocked by?
Harry Potter 4.
Do they have underwater scene?
Yeah.
Do they?
the Goblet of Fire?
Oh yeah, he doesn't he eat something and
It's
then
gillyweed.
Yeah, and then he can swim underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't-
Breathe underwater.
Wasn't Voldemort under the water too?
No. There
What
was
was-
fish people, mermaid people.
Okay. But anyway, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh.
I don't know how that man acted underwater in that costume for
Yeah.
so long without dying.
That's filmmaking, man.
Yeah.
That's a dedication to your
Yeah.
craft right there.
And they had the little fish flipper going
Mhm.
constantly with his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he did it, but props to you,
Yeah,
sir.
good for you, buddy.
God damn, that
Hey,
was impressive.
That's a hard way to earn an easy living right there.
I'm sure he didn't get paid much, probably, either. I mean, I don't know. How did Universal treat their actors back in the 60s?
I'm not sure.
50s,
unless you
60s.
were, unless you were like Boris Karloff. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Karloff. He's awesome.
He's definitely awesome.
Is.
I mean, if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood taught me anything, they treated him decent.
Or that movie.
That is a fictional film.
What's the movie that it was like Channing Tatum's in it?
You mean with Ben Affleck's little brother?
Casey Affleck.
Hollywoodland? No.
Wait, yeah, no, not La La Land. It's a movie where like Channing Tatum ends up being a Soviet.
What?
It's like a Coen Brothers movie. It's really strange, man. Really
the
strange.
Producers?
No. Springtime for Hitler in Germany.
I'll think of it. Listen, I'll think of it at some point. It was a ridiculous movie, and it wasn't that good.
I feel like the movie that comes to mind with him is that one with Shia LaBeouf he's in, where they're like mobsters.
Shia LaBeouf mobsters, huh?
Wasn't that a movie with them?
Are you talking Channing Tatum?
I think so.
I was going to say Magic Mike is probably the one that comes to most people's
Wait, does that
mind.
have Shia in it?
Are you thinking of Tom Hardy?
Maybe it is Tom Hardy.
Yeah. You're thinking of Tom Hardy.
But that's Shia and Tom Hardy?
Yeah, where they're brothers.
Yeah.
And they're like whiskey runners or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. No, that movie's good.
You like that movie?
It's
No.
pretty good.
No.
Okay, well,
It's a fun adventure.
I tell you what, on BTB, we're going to talk about the movie that you like and I do not like, so.
Listen, I don't even know what it's called. I know I've seen it like 3 times, and I was
It's
like,
probably-
all right.
You know what's a better Brothers movie? Four Brothers.
Four Brothers is fantastic.
Four Brothers is
I love
awesome.
the fuck out of that movie.
Rest in peace, Andre 3000.
You
He's
got
not dead.
it. You got it. All
Well,
right.
his career is.
Yeah,
well,
his
in the
career's
movie.
over.
Oh,
And was Tyrese in that too?
yep.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrese, yeah.
And then Mark Wahlberg's just there.
Ugh.
He's the brother.
How do you
I
feel?
mean, it is dope when he's just kind of walking out on Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Wahlberg, people hate him. He does some good stuff.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I don't mind him.
But he's also a scumbag.
In real life.
Yeah. Well, he beat that Vietnamese man,
He did?
and his eye fell out. Yeah,
Oh.
with a cane.
I
Yeah.
thought that was just like a Boston thing.
Yeah, that's a Boston thing.
You just
It's
fight.
definitely- You just
You
beat.
just fight,
You just
man.
beat homeless
Listen, man.
Vietnamese men until their eyes fall out.
You can't just roll into Salty expecting the world.
No,
Hey, if he's
you
gonna
lace curtain motherfucker.
if he's gonna claim that Entourage is like about
His
him
life.
or whatever, he might not be a great guy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bumblebutt Podcast, the only podcast on the internet that uploads weekly. Who knows what it'll be about? This week, it's me. It's Charles Lawrence Part 2. My
Hell
name is
yeah.
Adam. Sitting across from me, as always, is Cody. Hello.
Hello.
How was your week?
I'm sure you could tell how busy it was and not fun in the least bit. You were dealing with a bit of insanity with coming into work on the same car for 4 days.
Oh, peeling off that
Ah.
goddamn vinyl wrap, yeah.
Don't wrap your cars. That's my message of the week. Stop it.
I had to keep my meter kept rising. There was a couple days I didn't make it to noon this week because I was about to burn the whole place down.
Well, I know you remove like clear shields, right? And you like your fingertips get so raw.
Yeah.
I can only imagine 4 days of that. I couldn't even do it.
My nails are like white in the middle because they've been bent back, like someone's trying to shove bamboo shoots up them.
I do not miss those days.
That reminds me, I don't know about you guys, but I always make the mistake of cutting my nails too short.
Definitely.
Always do
Definitely.
it. I hate it.
Yep.
I hate it. I don't know how to. I need a lady to teach me how to cut my nails properly, I think.
Well, I get grossed out when they're like past a certain point, so it's like I purposely cut them super short, but then they're sensitive and angry.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Then the hangnails come in.
Yep.
See,
My gauge is how dirty they start to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that dirt's not coming out. I have to cut it off because I can't clean the dirt out of
see, what I've found is good is to just leave like a sliver of white on there.
See, I would say those are too short still.
That's too long for me.
When you can see the outline in your skin from the previous nail, I think it's too short.
No.
I mean, that's how I feel. I don't know.
I
can
mean,
see
everyone's got their opinion.
Haven't you got a manicure before?
No.
That was me.
You've got one before?
Dude, straight up, I don't care how manly of a man you are.
It's a good idea.
You get a
It's just called
pedicure and
self-care.
you get yourself a manicure. That shit feels amazing.
Yeah.
Even when they're like pushing your cuticles back?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
I bet they know how to do it.
Dude, your hands feel so good afterwards, and so do your feet.
You know what? I might have to be...
My fellow men, pamper yourselves.
I have nothing against it at all.
Treat
because
yourself.
I'm saying, if it makes you feel better, do it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's all there is to
I've
it.
never understood the like stereotype. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're just getting your hands fixed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Take care of your skin. Take care of your hands and your feet. Do things that make you feel good.
That's right, Jordan. And that was Jordan that said that. And here he is. Hello, Jordan.
Hello, Adam.
How's your week?
My week was pretty gosh darn good.
You saw a picture of your baby?
I did. I finally went to an ultrasound, and it was wild in a very good way.
And it's got a big old hanger.
Probably bigger than mine right now.
you saw the penis and it takes after the wife.
Oh yeah. No, because like it was yesterday was the ultrasound, and like we went in, knew we were having a boy and whatnot, and the nurse, doctor, ultrasound technician, whatever their title is, that was given it was like, "Oh, are we finding out gender today?" And Amy's like, "No, we already know we're having a boy," and like. She starts it in like 5 minutes in. She's like, gets to a shot where it's kind of like from the back between the legs. And she's like, oh yeah, you're definitely having a boy. And Amy's just like, good for him.
Are you ready to face the inevitable fate when your boy's penis is bigger than your dad penis, and you're gonna have to face that, like they did on Family Guy? How are you gonna handle that?
I mean, first off, after the kid's out of diapers, I ain't trying to look at his dick.
I don't know if that's true, Jordan. What if you get super into sauning as a family?
Well, wear towels.
Oh, go, okay.
Oh, they're going
Or
Polish
like
style.
something.
Yeah.
They're going Polish style.
okay.
Huh?
Listen,
Okay.
man, I don't
They're
want
not
to see
real.
my kid naked. I don't want my kid to see me naked.
Listen,
You're gonna have to take father-son showers. It's
go
gonna happen.
stand before your father nude as the day you came out of your mother, okay? And that's the most liberating feeling you can
in
have.
fact,
Have you done that, Adam?
This isn't about me. It's about you, Jordan.
In fact, after this show, you return to your father's house and
Yes.
ask to take a shower with him.
Yeah. Shower with your father. Become the father your father never was for you.
Show me how to hold my son, Dad.
Show me how to bathe properly, father.
All right, let's hop into Lazarus Part 2.
Let's
All right.
do it.
Charles Lawrence Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. Things were going so well for Charles Lazarus Lawrence. When the South departed the Union, everything changed. Abraham Lincoln and the newly empowered Republicans distrusted Charley because he was a member of a prominent Democratic family. He had ties to slavery, professionally and personally.
What do they call these? The Dixiecrats?
The Dixiecrats. Those,
Yeah.
Yep, that's absolutely
Hell
correct.
yeah.
He had, after all, been doing business in Cuba and New Orleans, huge slave hubs, and Charlie's sisters Emily and Rose lived in Virginia with Rose's husband, George H. Davis.
Oh.
George Davis had hired a substitute to fight for him in the infantry, but the family owned slaves.
Wait, you can do that?
Absolutely. You could even do that in Vietnam.
Or you could pay someone to go for you.
Yep.
Man, if we ever
Rich man's war, poor man's fight. I think that was one of the
Hey.
slogans.
Listen,
Yeah.
if we ever have a draft again, I'm just gonna find someone standing at an intersection and be like, "I'll give you $200 to go to war for me."
That's not enough.
I don't know
That
if that'll
is
do it.
Not enough.
I will treat them to a night on the town. You want $100 steak? You got it. You're gonna go die in my place.
I think you should offer to shower with them.
Yeah.
Show them how to bathe properly.
Yes, that's what's been missing the whole time. And then you don't have to go to war.
I will teach you my dad's wisdom of showering properly.
You
Shower
see this? This is Irish Spring. It's the most cleansing of soaps.
Charlie's in-laws sought to establish loyalty to the Union. Zip's brother Jacob accepted a commission as a captain with the 2nd Minnesota Volunteers,
Shout out.
Whoa.
who fought a bloody campaign across Kentucky.
Hell yeah.
At
Us proud.
At only 27 years old, Lazarus was still young enough for service, but he instead accepted that consulate position in Brazil we talked about in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I want to be a consulate in Brazil for sure.
The new minister to the Empire of Brazil was named James Watson Webb. Webb had the authority to take independent action on behalf of the United States and was also the editor of the New York Courier and Inquirer.
So he's kind of important.
He's a pompous, full of himself asshole, as we'll find out.
He has 3 names. So
Yes, he does.
he's gonna be.
And he has the ability to twist anything he does into a good thing with the Courier and Inquirer.
This is yellow journalism right now.
Definitely. Tall, handsome, well-dressed, and with a sick-ass beard, Webb was a vain, pompous prick.
Sounds like me about a year and a half ago.
In his youth, he was a peacetime army officer, always bitter about being denied his chance at glory in combat. Becoming a newspaper editor, Webb slaked his thirst for blood by challenging rivals to duels.
Hey, sometimes you could do more damage that way.
Oh, yeah. By all accounts, Webb ran through several fortunes seeking higher offices than his hypersensitive, pompous little brain could ever achieve. In 1856, Webb abandoned his support for slavery to cash all his chips in with the abolitionists and the Republican Party. In 1860, Webb used his newspaper to push Lincoln. From there, it was a never-ending road of ass-kissing to the president, including when Webb offered his home to the president for the funeral of their mutual friend, one Senator Edward Baker.
We lost a good one there with Edwin Baker. Edward Baker.
R.I.P. in peace, Ed Baker.
So did he helped basically get Lincoln elected?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He basically used his newspaper as a stump for Lincoln to stand on. Yeah.
Okay. Newspapers can't really do that. I mean, can't really do that
officially
nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, printed media is dead.
I think all things on paper should be dead. Let's let the trees be.
I know. Bring back Weekly World News. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to hear what Moth Boy or Bat Boy.
Bat Boy.
What's Bat Boy up to nowadays?
I feel like the Chinese people ate him.
Well, Bat Boy started coronavirus. You heard it here first.
They probably did. He was the most succulent cup of bat soup they've ever had in their life.
Bat soup.
You know what's funny? I was talking to my mom, and she's like, I bet them dirty Iowan hogs started the coronavirus. That's what she was telling me.
Well, she is hog racist.
She is. She knows about the disgusting hog farms in Iowa, and she says it's those pigs that have started the coronavirus. So shout out Iowa.
Yeah, and infected all the groundwater, right?
Yeah,
because their shit and corpses are just spread about the land.
Basic. Don't drink Iowa water.
Don't do it.
No.
Otherwise, you'll end up like Cody.
Yeah, Iowa's a scary place. I know that every exit when you drive through has like a Citgo and a Subway, and that's about it.
I mean, the only redeeming factor of Iowa is Diamond Joe Casino.
Yep, right across the border.
What about toppling Goliath right here?
I mean, that is
Drinking
good.
it right here.
But Diamond Joe has a sports book.
We started off the, what do they call it? The caucus?
Yes, the Iowa caucus.
Yeah, that turned into a clusterfuck.
The Iowa cluster.
We might get into that in BTB.
Okay, alright, we'll save it for that.
Yeah.
In 1861, Webb had hung around Lincoln's nuts long enough that he was able to get a meeting with Lincoln's Secretary of State, William Seward. Charley begged Seward to name him the ambassador to England, but Webb severely overrated himself. Many, many genius men wanted that appointment. Webb instead received nomination to Brazil, where he had 0 friends and didn't know a single word of Portuguese.
Sounds equipped for the job.
He's got this.
In Webb's extreme disappointment at what he felt was a posting beneath him, He failed to realize how vital this actually was. Before the Panama Canal was constructed, ports like Rio were essential stops for merchantmen on the way to the Pacific for resupply.
I mean, they gotta go all the way around that continent.
Yep.
So.
There's no fucking... I learned that the hard way in Hearts of Iron 4. If you blow up the Panama Canal, you gotta go all the way around South America.
I feel like I'm starting to feel why he likes this now.
Why
the Panama Canal is... Hey, can I interject with a smuggler joke that I looked up prior to the show?
I don't see why you shouldn't do that.
I was like, I wonder if there's such a thing as a smuggler joke.
I mean, we could try and stop him, but I don't think we're going to be able to.
Hold on. What do you call a Mexican intergalactic smuggler?
Juan Solo.
Yeah, he got it.
Juan Solo?
Juan Solo.
Okay, that's great.
I love that.
Fuck off, Cody.
These are all dad jokes, so we just gotta throw them in there.
Well, do you have a bunch?
Yeah.
Well, okay, perfect, because there's a spot where I'm going to need them.
Okay, perfect.
Charlie's opportunity to secure a posting came when Webb fired the Secretary of Legation, Reverend James Cooley Fletcher, an expert on Brazil, missionary, and naturalist. Throughout Webb's life, he remained incredibly vain and status conscious. What was the reason Webb ran Fletcher, the perfect candidate for the job, out of office, you may ask? Well, he was concerned about rumors that Fletcher had been cucked by a prior ambassador.
Whoa!
That's
Oh,
right.
shit.
He let him... Okay, generally cucking is like they want that to happen.
No, that's
he
porno.
didn't want him.
Yeah, that's porno is
Okay.
when they wanted that.
Yeah.
Actual
Wait.
cucking is when
Okay.
your wife's going
I
behind
thought that
your
was
back.
a fetish.
Yeah, yes. A lot of things are fetishes.
But I'm saying, like, the cheating spouse fetish.
The
Isn't that
original form of cucking is
Okay.
your wife cheating on you.
Yes, I know, but it's like they want it to happen, right?
No, that's porno,
No.
Cody.
Okay.
That's the fetish part.
Gotcha, okay. I'm getting it here. Okay.
Jeez.
The original form is not a fetish. It's something you don't want to happen to you.
Hey,
It's a sad thing.
okay, since Jordan is apparently the Pornhub expert over here.
Right. Pornhub Jordan.
Can you explain to me the incest porn thing then?
Can you tell me
I
about that?
have no idea about incest porn.
About
Listen,
Papa Fox and
You're-
Son Fox
showering.
bathing instructions.
Papa Fox and not his son Fox.
The ultimate children's book.
Oh my God. Charlie was, on paper, a fantastic replacement. He was charming, fluent, and familiar with local expats. There was only one glaring problem, according to Webb.
He was just a Jew, and his social position is not what it should be.
Charles Lazarus was given the horrifying position of temporary secretary, which is actually my favorite Paul McCartney song. Look that up on your own time.
If you believe Paul's real.
No, this was when he was real.
Okay.
Yeah, but did he ever exist?
Now that's the real question.
Who's the safety guy at work?
The safety... Oh, Steve Porter.
I feel like he has a lot of temporary secretaries.
Oh, yeah. Hotties, too.
Steve Porter is still there, huh?
Well, he's
Oh,
like the king of Walser.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Lazarus worked in legation until December 1861, when Webb was able to find a Protestant to do the job. Charlie displayed no resentment upon leaving the embassy in Rio. He opened an importing business with a man named Marcos Wheel in a town called Petropolis, just north of Rio.
Sounds like a nice place.
To advance the firm, Charlie flattered his former boss, Minister Webb, and his wife. In 1862, he wrote,
I take this opportunity to thank you for your many kindnesses and the hospitality received at your hands and Mrs. Webb. I beg the opportunity to reciprocate whenever you or your lovely wife feel the need arise.
So he's kind of smoothing everything out.
no hard feelings that you
Okay.
fired me because I'm a Jew.
Okay.
This worked extremely well. Lazarus was named Webb's attaché and was granted a diplomatic passport, which basically made travel between Paris, Rio, London, and New York the easiest thing you can think of.
I see now.
Just kind of walk in there, show it, and be like, fuck out of my way.
Diplomatic immunity, bitch.
He's smart. He's
Hell yeah.
very smart.
Hell yes. Charley immediately angered Brazilian officials. Foreign diplomats were allowed to import goods for their own use without paying local taxes. As you can imagine, Charley and other like-minded diplomats imported way more than they needed and sold the rest at pure profit.
Capitalism, baby.
What was Brazil like? Do you know, in like 1860? Was it like
they were a burgeoning little country?
Okay.
Yes, like a lot of international trade because that's where the ports were in Rio.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of Americans now, we hear Brazil and we immediately think of like the drug cartel.
Yeah.
And like
the favelas.
Pablo and all of that.
Pablo's Colombian.
But I'm pretty sure his smuggling ring.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, all the
Brazil
way.
and all of that. But yeah, I was kind of curious what South America was like back in 1860. I never really think about that, to be honest.
No.
So.
It's just a port, like a port town. So
Yeah.
unless you're a merchantman, you're probably not spending too much
So
time.
Jack Sparrow probably would have came here.
I bet you, because he was in Singapore and all those other places.
Hell yeah.
Tijuana's
Singapore was
another one, I think.
dangerous in that movie.
On November 3rd, 1862, a Brazilian customs inspector wrote Webb that his attaché's new importing business, Whale and Lazarus, had tried to import 40 cases of candles from Havre, free of duty, by claiming the goods belonged to Webb.
Were the candles worth a lot or what?
I don't know. I have no idea why that. Maybe they could just sell them at a pure profit or something.
I wonder if they're like the nunchuck candles.
It's like remember in the last episode when his buddy in London was like, "Hey, I got these 10,000 muskets I need you to get rid of." Maybe that's one of those situations.
So Charlie, he'll just buy anything, or like he'll smuggle anything.
He loves the almighty dollar.
Okay.
Yes. He'll do
Doesn't
whatever
matter
it takes.
what it is.
I don't think so.
Okay,
because I'm pretty sure he was. They skip over it a lot in the book, which I will tell you the name of right now. Contraband,
Okay.
A History of American Smuggling. It's fucking
really
great. Yeah, it's
Sweet.
fucking great.
Fuck yeah.
They talk about not really having records for what he was doing during the war, except for blockade running, weapons to the south, which is kind of fucked up. We'll talk about that a little more later. But they think maybe he might have been transporting slaves as well during that time.
Okay, Charlie, come on, you
It's
can't
rough.
do that.
It's rough. Almighty dollar, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was on board, Charlie, with just like
I know.
goods, and then you hear people. It's like, okay, Charlie,
There's so many times where
this is an Amistad.
There's so many times where I'm like, oof, Amistad. What a hard movie.
Yes.
There are a lot of times it's a roller coaster where I'm like, I freaking love this guy, and then it's like, you bastard.
That's how I felt about Ponzi, kind of.
Yep.
Too.
Yeah.
And Soapy and
Yep.
all of them guys. I think at heart they're good people.
Yeah. As long as they don't
Kinda
kill.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do right by theirs.
That's right.
I entertain the suspicion that your respectable name has been involved in this matter without the knowledge of that gentleman or your consent.
This led Webb to immediately dispose of Charley as his attaché, and Charley to dissolve his new import business. Webb began a campaign against our hero to get him punished to the full extent of the Brazilian law. But Charley was able to convince Brazilian authorities that it was his young dispatcher that had accidentally imported the candles.
So this is like a chain of blaming. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Shit rolls downhill.
Ooh.
Jesus.
The dispatcher was punished and jailed for the crime, while Charley sailed free.
Okay, Charlie, that's like 2 notches on you right now.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Can I hear a couple of those smuggling jokes?
Yes.
We're going to change the scene a little bit. We're going to move on to Charlie's next point in life, and I want a little break in between.
Okay. Smugglers have begun hiding drugs in the soles of their shoes. You shouldn't trust them. They're probably laced.
Oh.
All right, Jordan, smartass. What happens when a donkey smuggler is chased by the cops?
What happened? He makes an ass of himself.
Yeah, that.
They haul ass.
Oh,
Jesus.
What do you call an intergalactic smuggler with a masturbation addiction?
I don't know. Jack off to the future.
Juan Solo.
Well, wait, are you saying Juan likes to jerk off a lot?
Yeah. Well,
this is hand Solo.
Oh my god.
Man, these are oof.
What's our next one?
Let me see. I know there's a good one. How much cocaine can a smuggler sneak into prison?
An ass load.
Oh, yeah.
He's close. A buttload.
I'm going to say ass load. Hey, judges, they're going to take that. Yeah. The judges are going to take that.
They're going to take that. Howie Mandel allows it.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do this one for the ladies.
All right. Last one for the ladies.
A girl I know got collagen injections in her butt. Now she looks like a smuggler's desk. She's got a false bottom in her drawers.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
That's really good. That's really good.
People of the world, we need to work on our smuggler humor, please.
Somebody put
Listen,
together...
we're going to take a quick break while I go hang myself.
That's a joke I always say with Brad, that guy who's like the fix-it-all guy at work. I'm like, he's here constructing 2 titanium nooses for us, Brad. So deliverance finally came for us. Freedom is upon us, my friend.
All right. Thank you for that short break. Here we are back to the actuals. Feeling battered and once again looking to put his business roots somewhere, Lazarus left Rio for Paris in 1863. There, in cooperation with a Brazilian merchant named Alphonse Gatto, Charley exported French goods to South America.
Ooh.
Like all business relationships, at some point this one soured, and Lazarus was forced to beat a hasty retreat to London, along with Zip and his 3 boys, Walter, Percy, and newborn little Lionel.
Okay.
Why is newborn Lionel in this? He's a child. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Ultimate smuggler.
Yeah, he's the worst. His diaper's full of... He's got a false bottom in his diaper.
He's got French silk diapers that they're going to pawn on.
Yes.
See?
He's smuggling in the silk in his poop.
Is little newborn Lionel Charlie's kid, or is he just a baby?
Yeah, he's little Charlie and Zip's baby.
Okay. I was like, is he just have a random baby he's carrying around?
Just a hang-along baby.
Yeah.
He wanted to learn the fucking ropes. Charlie's brother-in-law, Robert Noah, was less than 30 and a veteran of both the U.S. Navy and the British Army.
Wow.
He chose not to re-enlist to fight for the Union in the Civil War, and instead took up the director position at Leicester Square Music Hall, while exporting goods to Brazil with Charley as a side hustle.
So did he learn... Okay, are you talking about like a orchestra director? Or is
That's
just
right.
Like,
not conductor, no.
No.
Director, he would like book the gigs.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
So if Druid wanted to play here,
At Leicester
he would
Square?
have to talk to this man.
Absolutely. He would have to talk to
Okay.
Bobby Noah. His little business, after 1 year, found itself 56,000 pounds in debt, roughly $6.5 million today.
Holy
Jesus, okay.
fuck.
All right.
You see, Robert had a problem with racehorses, and his business partners had a problem with the stock market. But their biggest failure was a specialty import business which lost $2 million of adjusted money today. Trying to trade in wacky objects like swords, guns and powder, screws, sugars, cement, and calfskin.
I mean, that's a varied selection.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming calfskin means leather,
Yeah.
right?
Like fine leather, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
but it's still like, all right, I've got my... Okay, now it all kind of makes sense.
You can't have 2 gamblers together. You just can't do it. You can't do it.
Racehorses and stocks.
Yeah.
Bad combo.
Don't bet on horses. You're not going to win.
Please.
I don't know about it in this time, but like today it's so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically just giving them your money.
Basically. And I'm sure they were fixed back in the day, too.
Mm-hmm.
If Peaky Blinders has taught me anything.
How did they stop the horses from going so fast? How did they fix them? Or they just told the jockey to slow down?
I think so.
All of their wacky objects they traded helped with that.
Swords, guns, and powder.
Someone
screws.
hid underneath calf skin with a sword.
Cut
and
the horse's legs off?
Yeah, their
That-
Achilles.
They
that
put
cut the
cement
thing
shoes
that
on 'em.
launched the screws to ignite the gunpowder to shoot the cement at them.
Now
I've never heard him be this creative before.
And he used every implement
Except
of
the
wacky
sugars.
object.
To be honest,
they used the sugars to make sure they were real hyped up and dialed in.
You use all of these objects at work on a daily basis.
You do.
So.
You do.
I use one of those, well, two of those objects at work on a daily basis.
Well, sugars, I'm sure you have some
In your
sort of
coffee,
alcohol-based
Dr. Pepper.
thing. I'm sure you have
energy
leather.
drinks.
I'm sure you wear leather. You probably have leather
Actually, yeah,
boots.
my tool tool
See?
belt is leather.
I'm sure guns and powder, you probably attempted to assassinate your boss a few times.
At some
I
point.
have not.
And everyone carries a sword.
Hell yeah.
I mean, yeah.
His sword is probably like a
See,
level
I
or
mean,
something.
I don't draw my sword, though, because once it's out, it can't be put back in until it tastes blood.
Yeah.
Papa Fox
Of an
taught
enemy.
him that in the shower.
That's right.
Never pull your sword out unless you're going to use it.
That's right. At least $500,000 inflated was spent on adventures to the Confederate States, and the brothers-in-law took up gun running to the Confederates.
Sounds like a much better movie than Adventures in Babysitting.
They were never officially charged with treason, but they would be marked in the public eye to those with a keen memory. So many of their sons were dying on the battlefield as Charles was running the guns to their children's butchers.
Ooh.
When the war finally ended, Charlie took out an advertisement in the New York Herald announcing his name change from Charles Lazarus to Charles Lawrence.
Did you have to do that?
He loves being a celebrity.
I feel like that'd be like Amy taking out an ad in the newspaper. I'm no longer Amy Nord. I'm now Amy Fox. Thank you.
Well, she should, Cody.
I think so.
She should.
In the article, he claimed his rich, crazy Uncle Samuel had offered him a legacy-sized fortune if he were to finally drop Lazarus and join the rest of the family.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
listen here, you fucking nerds. I'm getting a shit ton of money for changing my name. Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you, Samuel.
Of course, we know he had other reasons to do this. The name Lawrence was not recognizable as Jewish upon hearing, and a new name could only help him escape allegations lodged against him in Brazil, Paris, London, all the creditors in the U.S., and all those who would call him a traitor.
Where else can you go at this point?
Someone's gonna find him and be like, Charles Lazarus? No, man. I get fucking laid. I'm Charles Lawrence.
Charles Lazarus doesn't get pussy. Charles Lawrence gets pussy.
Charles
I'll promise
Lawrence
you that much.
is a Chad. Charlie seemed to float through the harbor on his own oats upon his return to New York. He had managed to avoid both military service and a South American prison. By July, he was back, baby,
Hell
and
yeah.
he went to an exclusive gala benefiting the victims of a fire at P.T. Barnum's museum.
Not P.T. Barnum. He's great, man.
Most of the dramatic artists in the city were milling about and putting on a show.
This was the rebirth and coming out party of the newly minted, hopefully forgotten about Charles Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence hit the ground running. He produced The Devil's Auction, which was a runaway Broadway success, selling out 5 shows a day for over a month.
Holy fuck.
Was this a play?
It
Yes.
was a ballet.
Oh, a ballet. Okay.
It
It
was-
sounds cool.
It was such a hit that after 3 weeks, Charles doubled down and imported the most famous ballerina in the world at the time, Italian sensation Giuseppina Morlacchi, insuring her legs for
Hell
$100,000.
You have to insure the
Jesus.
legs.
The first time I ever
Oh,
heard
that-
about that is when J-Lo insured her ass back in the day.
She did.
Yeah.
What do you think? Someone's gonna like slice it off or what? Like damage her
You
ass?
never know.
It's like part of her livelihood. Her livelihood was based on her booty at the time, so
I don't know what part of my body would be worth insuring
nothing.
at
yeah,
all.
I was gonna
Worthless.
say nothing.
The only thing with you would be your knowledge of how to take a shower properly with Papa Fox.
But with Daddy Fox.
You better insure that brain of yours.
That small portion of my brain.
You might have like what's that Stephen King movie about the alien with
Yeah,
Dreamcatcher?
Alien.
A dream catcher, yeah. You'll have that little secret room in your head with your box of Papa Fox's shower knowledge.
A month later, however, ticket sales began to decline. The director stopped paying his actors, causing the stars to walk out, and eventually the production was closed.
You gotta pay him, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
This failure didn't affect Charles very much. Although he was incredibly proud of the show, he was grinding away all over the place. He was publishing books, importing goods, patenting a process for making rubber floor mats, and when his mother-in-law died in June of 1866, he inherited a share of several valuable properties, including the family mansion and his very own newspaper, the Sunday Times and Noah's Weekly Messenger.
Oh, shit.
When I was thinking about rubber floor mats, I was thinking of, I can't think of that brand.
WeatherTech.
WeatherTech.
That's exactly what I was thinking, too.
The company with the worst fucking billboards I've ever seen in my life.
And commercials. I hate it. Each car is laser measured for floor mat accuracy. It's like, no, you got the specifications from the manufacturer. You didn't fucking laser measure shit.
They're nice floor mats, but they're not that nice.
They are that nice, though, because they will protect your fucking carpet.
Yeah, they're
I was going to say, their advertising sucks, but the product is fucking fantastic.
Like $500 for a fucking...
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
They're pretty flawless.
Yeah.
They're a Minnesota company, too.
There is a reason for that, because they have laser cutting technology.
That's laser measuring tech.
Oh, and their little phone holder that
cup
goes
phone.
in. Yeah, cup phone.
Cup phone.
Here's a holder that fits in your cup holder. The cup phone.
The last cup phone you'll ever need. Charlie also became a professional snitch.
Oh, just like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, deep cut.
This hurts me. I liked him pretty much all the way until I read this. In February 1868, he learned a man was looking for a loan, offering questionable bonds as collateral. Pretending to be interested, Lawrence took the meeting only to turn in the dealer and for the reward.
I mean, are you surprised? He basically threw that dispatcher under a donkey carriage in Brazil, so, I mean, what are you going to do?
From his booth, where he brokered imports and Broadway tickets, Charles became the entertainment magnate of New York by making connections with respected foreign music promoters and getting the exclusive rights to sell tickets for Charles Dickens' celebrated 1867-68 tour of New York City.
Hey, this is, I mean, that's respectable.
That's upper crust, man.
How the hell did he pull that off?
He's a little skis. He's a little con man skis.
I was after he said his ballet, I was failing. I was half expecting him to put on a ballet outfit and start just going on stage and dancing himself.
Like, fine, if you won't work here, I'll do it myself.
I'll do it my goddamn
I'll show you how to do a goddamn pirouette. And 1 and 2 and 3 and kick.
In the summer of 1868, Zipporah's fourth pregnancy combined with old debts to make Charlie's finances tight. He decided it was time to put his pride aside for a little bit and seek a position at the Port of New York. His experience as a broker, familiarity with foreign markets, and his knowledge of Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Hebrew made him one of the most qualified applicants.
So he did not get it because they'd have to pay him too much.
I was kind of wondering, like, are you considered a piece of shit if you don't have at least 4 kids during this time?
I think so. Isn't that the thing? You get married by the time you're 20
I understand, like, you had to have as many kids as possible to do, like, the numbers game and hoping, like, at least 60% of them survive, but goddamn.
Of course, in order to receive such a well-respected position, he would need the help of his famous and influential in-laws, which he had no shortage. Zip's brother Manuel edited the San Francisco paper Alta California, which regularly ran pro-Republican stump articles for the state senators. It was this connection that secured Charlie an inspectorship where he would earn $4 a day, plus paltry bounties, which were collected when you caught smugglers and they had extra money and stuff on board that was undeclared.
So he was a rat to smugglers.
All while learning the trade.
Okay. All right.
So his job was to inspect cargo and find undeclared items. And things that were undeclared were then possessed by the state, and the treasurers, the treasury agents, that's what they were called at the time, they were given a paltry sum of a percentage. So it was in their best interest to turn in smugglers.
Okay. I wonder, do you know what the equivalent to $4 a day was back then?
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, I assume it's probably like $50 probably, somewhere around there.
I would say more than that. Well, it turns out that's about minimum wage.
Poor bastard.
Lawrence's boss at the port was surveyor Abram Wakeman.
An affable, insinuating, and pleasant, though not profound attorney.
Little shady.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Wakeman was a ride-or-die President Andrew Johnson fanatic, which should have made him hate a Tammany Democrat like Charles Lawrence. But the two got on swimmingly.
Maybe he didn't tell him.
Oh, they knew.
Oh, he knew.
Oh, Charlie is an upper-crust Tammany boy. Like, everybody knows who Charlie is at this point.
Maybe it's like the Boardwalk Empire type relationship where they're like
frenemies.
Friends, but they're still talking shit about each other, but they're still just caring about making money together. Yeah. Maybe it's that type of relationship.
Quickly, Charlie moved up the ranks in Wakeman's eyes, joining his so-called Flying Brigade, noted for their aggressive pursuit of contraband, and receiving that paltry percentage of stolen undeclared money, while the customs house kept the rest. Lawrence earned far less of a percentage than his boss, who took in over $100,000 a year in bonus money. But he caught several offenders nonetheless, mostly small-timers carrying smuggled pocket knives, macaroni, nutmeg, watches, or a couple $100 worth of brandy.
I could see macaroni being a hot ticket item, if I'm being honest.
Especially when we were talking about Soapy. He spent a lot of time in Canada importing. No, that was Ponzi, right?
It was Ponzi.
Yeah. Right.
He had his macaroni factory and some fish factory or something.
Mix that with some cheese. You got a treat, boy.
Yummy.
Yeah, somebody else has to smuggle the cheese, though. That's too hot for one. It's a federal offense if you're caught with macaroni and cheese.
Okay, so we had Ponzi who got charged with stolen cheese.
Right.
And then we had that demolition serial killer who was a cheese factory guy.
Right.
So.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's Harry Orchard the Dynamite Man.
Yes. I forgot about him.
That's a good episode.
He's quite a character.
Go back and listen. Hey, I've seen the numbers for Harry Orchard the Dynamite Man. Go back and listen to that one.
Phil's
That's a good
on that one, I remember.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That was a good one.
Lawrence's brief yet unfulfilling time in the Flying Brigade ended with the 1868 election of Republican candidate Ulysses S. Grant.
Son of a bitch.
The new administration removed Wakeman as surveyor and fired Lawrence outright, charging him with stealing several pairs of goatskin gloves by hiding them in his boots. What were we talking about? The soles of his shoes?
Yep,
Wasn't that the
right
first
there.
joke?
I bet those are quite warm.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Actually.
Sure. Put some goatskin gloves in your shoes. You'll be warm as hell.
I keep thinking about my partner who went to the, it's the glove and safety store.
In West St. Paul?
Yeah, it's right next to Target.
Yeah.
Buying like some super expensive pair of gloves there.
Go buy like a pair of Carhartt gloves that are like $15 at Fleet Farm for like $40 there.
Here's what you should say, Jordan. Listen, hipsters, I know the alpaca gloves are hot right now. Let's move back to goatskin gloves.
Let's get back to goatskins.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Jordan, put that out to your hipsters, okay?
Go buy the goddamn goat skins.
Facing absolute financial collapse, Charlie won reinstatement by petitioning his rich and influential friends. As punishment, though, he was forced to work in the barge house.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Charlie?
The most dilapidated and repulsive of any public edifice in any Christian country under the sun.
Did he have to put Christian country in there? Like, was that necessary?
Well, I'm sure he's seen some Muslim countries, some Islamic countries that maybe were a little more gross, maybe.
Yeah.
Or Chinese or whatever.
Hindu.
Yeah. Apparently, it would rock violently each time a wave got within 100 feet.
Oof.
Tiring of his assignment checking in barges, Charlie began hanging around the surveyor's headquarters, where he received a true education in the smuggling way. He heard all the stories, including that of the Giederman brothers, importers who conspired to declare cases of silk as buttons and other lightly taxed objects, all the while bribing a customs agent to pretend to be suspicious and go over the shipment with a fine-tooth comb.
So the whole thing of this is that you're smuggling items that are taxed higher than items that are taxed lower.
Yep.
So silk is taxed really high.
Way higher than buttons.
I don't really know about current day, but isn't it like a flat rate for importing stuff?
No, luxury items are still tariffed.
Okay.
And that's the whole Chinese problem we're having right now is over our trade deal in China.
Okay, that makes sense then.
The Giederman brothers avoided prison by negotiating a compromise in which they would pay fines totaling $33,000 or $500,000 today.
How much fucking money did they have?
I don't know. It's like everybody that they talk about on here is like, oh, you owe $6 million. You stole $7 million. It's like, what the fuck? We just bought Alaska for $7 million. Lawrence also witnessed the arrest of Isidore Wolfe and Myrtle May, who had smuggled $500,000 worth of silk in with the help of
a deputy collector who was so affected by drink that he hardly ever knew what he was on about, and always did as anyone requested.
So he was a drunk, and you could force him to do whatever you wanted.
I feel like we talked about this in the first part, where like in this time you really had to be a drunk to be a drunk.
To be a drunk,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
In 1870, an inspector accused Charley of smuggling cases of brandy, but his superiors declined to look into it. A couple of cases of brandy was worth how well of a job he was doing at an awful, awful assignment. On April 13th, 1870, Special Treasury Agent Newton Martin Curtis obtained a warrant for Lawrence's arrest, charging that he had smuggled 4 trunks containing velvet and silk ribbons from Canada into the U.S. with the help of the Grand Trunk Railway Baggage Master.
Damn, that's my dream job now.
Grand Trunk Railway
Yeah.
Railway.
What do you do for work, sir? I'm the Grand Trunk Railway Baggage Master. Thank you very much.
You want your shit to get there? You fucking talk to me.
You thought fucking Delta was a nightmare? Just wait till I get old of you, bitch.
Cross me and see what's up.
An imposing figure, well over 6 feet, with an enormous beard and built proportionally. Special Agent Curtis had served with distinction at the first Bull Run, Antietam, Fort Fisher, and second Bull Run, where he had traded his left eye for the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Okay, so this guy's a good guy.
He's a Union man.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you because those are hard battles.
Oh, yeah.
Both the Bull Runs and Antietam, those are hard. I don't know much about Fort Fisher, though.
Do you know how he lost his eye? Like, I can't imagine he took a bullet in it.
Might have. Or
Shrapnel, maybe.
He might have gotten stabbed with a bayonet.
Piece of wood went in there.
Yeah. Maybe tripped over a sticking up root, and there was just an oddly placed other root.
Maybe got stung by a bee.
Maybe he was showering with his dad, and he fell and hit his eye on
his toe.
A bar of soap.
Yeah.
Someone could have taken a dump in his eye.
Yeah.
I think that just gives you pink eye.
Well, ask Jordan. He had pink eye
He
once.
did have pink eye.
There was no stopping Special Agent Curtis when he had a stick up his ass about someone. So Lawrence surrendered himself for examination by the feds. The arrest made national headlines. The New York Herald accused Charley of being the mastermind behind an inside-the-custom house smuggling ring. Lawrence and his band of fellow inspectors aimed only to seize contraband and collect their paltry percentages, not to actually convict any smugglers. The article went on to claim,
almost from the day of his appointment, a brisk trade sprang up amongst a certain class of Jews who made a profession of defrauding the government of the revenues due on importations of silk, lace, velvet, ribbons, and other costly fabrics. I feel like this guy, little anti-Semitic. Just gonna throw that out there.
the New York Herald is...
It probably comes from old money, too.
brutal.
Is like, are Jewish people known for like nice cloths? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've never heard that before.
They're known for being jewelers, tailors, bankers. The Herald insisted that Charley changed his name from Lazarus to Lawrence only to obtain a job at the port. Even a few years earlier, this may have prompted Charley to challenge the reporter to a duel, but instead, He wrote a letter prevailing to the editor's sense of justice to prevent his newspaper being used as
a medium of private malice.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good.
He doesn't. He doesn't want private beefs aired publicly through the newspaper.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, so you could literally just walk up to somebody who's talking shit about you and say, "I want to duel you."
Well, yeah, you could challenge anyone to a duel. It was up to their honor to accept it or not, I suppose.
And if they decline, they're like
They're
a
a yellow
pussy.
belly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Listen,
right.
I mean, the thing to do is walk up to someone who obviously doesn't have a gun for a duel and be like, I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah.
Do you have
You're
to?
going to win 100%
Do
of
you
those.
have to slap him in the face with a glove, or
Yeah,
can
white
you
glove.
just challenge him?
I don't know. Charlie brought up that he had changed his name 3 years prior to being appointed Inspector of the Customs. He then used the Herald's flagrant anti-Semitism to his advantage.
Oh man.
The slur shows the author's personal animus. The record of his co-religionists in the custom house will compare favorably with that of any other sect.
Basically a fancy boy way of saying, I dare you to compare all of the Jewish inspectors with all Christian inspectors and see whose records come up dirtier.
Okay. Well, he's probably got a good point here.
Yeah, just don't be Jew bashing all
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah.
New York Herald, if that is your name.
Goddamn New York Harry.
Steady income from the custom house strengthened Charlie's finances, but further tarnished his reputation. By 1870, he lived on a rich boy block of West 23rd Street, near the theater district, in a home complete with servants.
Hell yeah.
Oh, ho, ho.
Jordan's ultimate goal.
Charlie had befriended the city's most powerful politician, William M. Boss Tweed of Tammany Hall.
I feel like we talked about him
We did.
on Ponzi, so
We
he's a
did.
bad bitch.
And we talked about him in episode 1 of Lawrence when I was doing like the brief overview.
Yes.
No, we didn't.
Wait, did
Yes, we did.
I
Yes.
feel I almost feel like his name got brought up in the Demolition Guy. Why I just forgot his name again.
Harry Orchard, the Dynamite
yeah,
Man. I think
almost feel
Yeah.
like his name came up. So he must have been
He was the
well
boss.
known.
Hell
yeah.
He was the boss. He was like ran the Democratic Party.
So is he required to be like really fat and drive a Cadillac or
I think so.
Listen, a man of his stature does not drive. He gets driven.
well, he has to ride in a Cadillac probably.
Pink
Yes.
Cadillac.
Every time I hear like boss something else I think about is Porky's.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The screaming pighorn.
Yeah. In January of 1871, Lawrence and safe manufacturer John M. Davidson gave Tweed $10,000 in elegant paintings.
That one's a peacock.
Davidson allegedly ran a private bar in the back of his warehouse serving the best vintages of wines to Tammany Hall members. In return, New York had awarded Davidson inside contracts worth over $400,000 for safes to furnish the county courthouse.
You know what? Boston was just a different place than it is now. Just let him be.
Boston.
We're in New York right now.
I thought Tammany Hall was located in Boston.
No, Tammany Hall's not like a place. It's like a
Well, I know.
collection.
I thought the headquarters was in Boston.
Oh, it might be. It might
But
be.
okay, I get what you're. Well, I mean, they're not that far away.
It's like an Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
I don't trust them. What's the Catholic one?
The Masons?
They have a name. I can't remember what the name
Knights
of.
of Columbus.
Yeah, Knights of Columbus. I
Yeah.
don't trust them either.
Wait, the Knights of Columbus are Catholic?
Yes,
Hell yeah.
you will get served the blood of Christ.
They're
in
the
there.
Templars, man.
Yeah.
A Republican paper joked that one painting should
Represent a crowd of millionaires gathered hat in hand in front of City Hall, gently commanding them to stand and deliver. I don't know what an 1870s Republican sounds like. I know
That's
what they
it.
sound like now.
That's you just
They
did
sound
it.
like a dying old man, but I don't know.
Stand and deliver.
Lawrence was now socializing in the highest ring of the Tammany boys. He returned to the broker business, splitting his time between his servant-filled New York home and a second servant-filled home in London. he continued registering patents. First, a padlock devised by an Ithaca clockmaker, and second, a special ink for use on blank checks.
Okay, I wonder what...
I have no
why
idea.
you needed an ink for
idea.
that. Maybe so it doesn't blade through or something?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know.
If you got a stack of checks.
Yeah,
Or it's
maybe.
like, it can't be tampered with?
Ooh.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's made from, I don't know what.
Piss.
Goat fur, I don't know.
Yeah, goat skin. In New York, he campaigned unsuccessfully for a position as election inspector, but had to settle instead with an appointment as a commissioner of deeds and a position as a notary public, which put him in contact with merchants applying for passports.
I can see how he's going to twist this.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you imagine the damage he could do as an election inspector?
Rigging everything. It's like, hey, smuggling is now perfectly legal.
These 20 cases of brandy are now the mayor.
That's not brandy. That's actually cheap whiskey. Don't worry about it.
Oh. As the passage of time thinned out his blood relatives, as it sadly does to us all, he developed a wide-ranging network of in-laws, allies, partners, and friends. He became one of New York's best-known socialites, spending money lavishly, and was generally a popular man about town.
I'm guessing he dressed nice.
Oh, yes, the finest silks.
Can you imagine if he had LinkedIn at this point?
God damn.
Man, listen, I can't
He'd be
even
making
imagine.
way more than $4 a day.
Yes.
Can't imagine what this man's top hat looked like.
Ooh, the toppest of hats.
It was probably a paisley band around it.
I'm going to assume since he's trying to hide he is a Jewish man that he's not wearing a yarmulke.
Probably not a yarmulke, no.
Yeah, no, he's probably got like a gold cross necklace.
Hell yeah.
And I'm talking tasteful, not like early 2000s rapper kind of chain.
Or current baseball pitcher.
Or Allen Iverson in the new Eagles, the All or Nothing about the Eagles. They're like sitting next to Allen Iverson, and he's got like a gold chain that looks like something you'd use to like tie up an impound fence at a fucking bar. Like it's so thick.
Like a barge chain.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
So that's why he got jewelry stolen from him.
Go figure.
probably that looked like, I don't know, that had to cost a lot.
You know,
Eventually, little old Charley was invited to join the Americus Club. Originating as Boss Tweed's Fire Brigade, Americus Engine Number 6, the club moved to Greenwich, Connecticut. For an initiation fee of $1,000 and monthly dues of $250, members receive access to 3 steam yachts and a $300,000 clubhouse containing a bar, barbershop, billiard room, and a grand dining hall 100 feet long.
Damn, that's pretty sweet,
Alright.
actually.
Now this is your Buffalo Lodge,
Hell yes.
the Americus Club. Multiple reports claim that Lawrence himself imported the club's English carpets, which were thick as beefsteak, as well as the enameled solid gold tiger head badges worn by the members.
Fuck, that is sweet. I can say from recent experience, carpet's very expensive.
Is it? Oh,
Yes.
you carpeted the upstairs, right?
Yeah, well, we got a nice rug, and it's just like, even getting a cheapy rug is like $150.
I know.
If you want,
Yeah.
like, if you're talking about a rug like this is like multiple thousands
Right.
of dollars.
oh yeah.
As Charley rose in the Tammany Society, the nation geared up for the 1872 presidential election. President Grant's opponents thought removing him would be an easy task, owing to the recent readmission of 3 Confederate states into the Union, Mississippi, Texas, and Virginia.
Cowards.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It's 1872. They had to move on. The main issue plaguing all of America since the end of the war, and certainly the central issue this election would be decided by, was Reconstruction. Specifically, the equality of black people and the erection of state governments in the former Confederacy that would uphold this equality.
Yeah, I can only imagine the task that would be.
Ugh.
Some of them still don't do it today.
I know.
Well, the entire country
Alabama
does, but-
University didn't do it till 1975 or something
Right.
like that. So
Roll Tide. Democrats and liberals in both major parties argued that the Custom House was the core of the Grant administration's corrupt misrule. There's newspapers began throwing around buzzwords like rings, gangs, mobs, and cliques, based at the nation's ports.
So Ulysses S. Grant, is he actually a corrupt president?
I mean, all presidents have to dabble in corruption.
Okay.
It's a big job. Dirty job.
Have you seen the documentary Wild Wild West?
Yes.
I think he
Robot Spider.
He looks pretty non-corrupt to me in that.
He did.
I think he was the president in that movie.
I think so.
So he looked okay.
He's just completing the railroad.
It's just like some things get lost, right? In the shuffle. So sometimes if you're a busy president, the customs house may run rampant because you're worried about Native American uprisings in the Midwest or something like that.
Even during this time, it's not like you could get a phone call.
Right.
He would have no fucking idea what's going on over here, you know?
It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
As a president, it's a tough spot. Critiques of the custom houses, unfortunately, were oftentimes thinly veiled attacks on African American participation in government. In article after article, black voters were described as nothing more than dupes controlled by customs rings that promised them employment. The Louisiana World claimed,
Grant's custom house party achieved its goal through the efforts of ignorant Negroes.
Ooh, man, that doesn't feel right to read that.
That felt really bad to say.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oof.
the ever-racist New York Herald alleged.
Whoa. Can you say they're racist?
I mean, we were talking about how anti-Semitic they were.
That's different. No, most African American voters don't even know their names. They'd vote for whoever was paying their wage told them to. They'd vote for whoever was paying their wage had told them to, lacking any interest in the election at all, with the exception of a few silly-looking, disappointed darkies who hang around the corners. I don't like saying that either, goddammit.
I was wondering what it was going to register, what you were about to read.
I don't know whose was worse, mine or yours.
Yours was more straight to the point. The Herald used like a subtle approach to
they
it. But
tried
they're
to
still there.
veil it, but
They didn't use the N-word, so I guess it's not quite as bad.
Yeah,
It's very bad.
I kind of want to censor what I read.
It's not happening.
Nope.
Oh,
You
fuck.
can tell your dad about it in the shower.
That's right. He'll wash your sins away. Actual non-racially motivated critiques of the custom house also surfaced, such as abolishing the payment of the paltry percentages being given out to government officials for exposing smuggling, which made finding smugglers as lucrative as the crime itself.
Not a smart idea.
Many citizens were appalled to learn the annual earnings of Treasury agents and were disgusted by the greed of it all. By turning agents into entrepreneurs, the Treasury attracted grimy fellows who were more concerned with getting their bonuses than actually prosecuting smugglers.
I kind of feel like this still happens today.
Yes. Now was the time, if there ever was one, for the Democratic Party to officially distance themselves from Boss Tweed and his Tammany Hall. Their opportunity came in 1870, when the New York Times uncovered evidence that contractors building the new county courthouse paid kickbacks to Democratic officials. A beautiful, solid granite neoclassical structure complete with Corinthian columns and a breathtaking rotunda. The beautiful courthouse cost $13 million, a large percentage of which was funneled directly back into Tammany upper crust pockets.
God damn. I wonder if that's still standing.
Ooh, I don't know.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
If you spend that much on it, I bet it's still standing.
Grant and the rest of the Republicans greedily swallowed up Tammany Democrats that were fleeing from the ever-deepening scandal, and using their insider knowledge stitched up the White House for a second term. During 1872 to 1873, things got rough for the Tammany boys. Reformers in the Democratic Party were on the hunt, and nearly 2 years after the ring was exposed, liberals were very confused as to why Boss Tweed and his inner circle continued to walk free.
I mean, makes sense.
In response to this pressure, Charley decided to become a lawyer.
Jesus Christ.
Not as impressive as it sounds. In those days, you didn't have to go to law school. There was an option to read for the bar, where you could obtain a license through the sponsorship of a well-respected senior attorney who could vouch for your knowledge.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. All right, you're a fucking lawyer.
I feel like this is where the meme of the Southern lawyer comes into play.
I say.
Yeah. I read the ball. I know my law.
Your
I know
Honor.
the law.
I read for the bar, Your Honor.
This is a case of chicken feed amongst goat milk.
Hey, to be fair, if you watch Catch Me If You Can,
Yeah.
he
He's
became a
doctor.
lawyer and a doctor by just tampering papers.
On the
so-
job, baby. On the job training. Charlie's sponsor was a man named Philip Phillips, respected Alabama congressman turned attorney. I just
Also-
wanted to say his name.
Also, had a big hit song.
Phil
about
Phillips?
4 years ago. Yeah, Philip Phillips. You know the one, you were gonna make this house your home, with the acoustic guitar and
Oh,
shit.
the Lowe's commercial one.
Yes. That's Philip Phillips.
Hell yeah,
Yes.
Philip Phillips.
Yes.
Fuck my ears. I'll never want to hear that again. Fuck you, Philip Phillips. I hope you're a fan, and now I hope you're not. During Tweed's second criminal trial, Charlie became the boss's closest friend. Rumors circulated that Tweed had given Charlie $100,000 to bribe the jury. If so, it didn't work. Because on November 19th, 1873, the jury returned with a verdict of guilty. Charlie looked at the judge, hoping to see some glimmer of sympathy. But what looked back at him was
The face of a rock set against the storm.
mysterious personal ads started popping up in the New York Herald. One offered to sell a
Remarkably handsome, intelligent, well-trained white Spitz dog.
another solicited mortgages for inclusion in a trust fund, and a third offered
Pleasant and cheerful rooms to let with board. For gentleman and wife, or single gentlemen, speaking English, French, and Spanish.
all of these ads were placed by a man calling himself Charles L. Lawrence, but spelled wrong. See, it's spelled Laurence.
Okay, yeah.
And they made Charlie's life look like an on-the-go cosmopolitan Manhattanite. But perhaps he wasn't looking to sell a dog, or start a trust fund, or rent out rooms to multilingual people. Maybe the misspellings were on purpose. Maybe this was code to relay information to Charlie's far-flung smuggling ring. Because by 1873, Lawrence was no longer merely a downtown merchant, impresario, inventor, publisher, club owner, or Tweed's personal best friend. He was the leader of America's most extensive smuggling ring.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to pick it up in part 3
Hell yeah.
of Charles
damn.
Lawrence, the Prince of Smuggling.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going to talk about that possibly in part 3 or whatever, but is it confirmed that these were codes, or is it speculated?
Yeah,
that
it's
these are
confirmed.
codes?
I was tickling your balls. I was writing fancy stuff, you know what I mean?
So, is this like the first time he's done it, or you think he's been doing it for a long time?
Once Tweed goes to jail is when he really pops off and starts smuggling all across the board.
But no, I mean like the secret code in the newspaper.
Yeah, that's once Tweed went to jail.
Yeah, then he
1873.
started. Okay,
Yep.
I gotcha.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you know what? I mean, to get Tweed off, you got to be a little bit better than reading the bar.
I think so.
assume.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, Tweed never let him be his attorney. He's just his friend and confidant.
well, I was gonna say the bribe to pay off the jury.
Smart.
He's knowing a man of Charlie. He's gonna keep the money for himself.
Yeah, he might have put that in his pocket. Yeah. Listen, bros, money before bros, maybe.
Let's bring back bribing the jury. That's what I need.
Sure, or clipping them.
Yes.
You gotta kill him or bribe
No, let's not kill him, but you can bribe him. Bribing is perfectly fine.
him. It's perfectly legal.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
All right, well, fuck it, dude. That's Lawrence too. The
Hell
dark
yeah.
middle chapter, boys.
Very good job.
Next time we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. You know, he's gonna be running
can't
shit.
Wait.
Hell yeah.
And the flight, the runaway, the 2-horse carriage through Alaska and all that shit.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's all I kept
Yes.
thinking about.
We're getting there.
uh,
We're getting there, boys. All right. Perfect. Good job. Thanks for listening, and thank you everyone also for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so at bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com.
What's that, Adam?
bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com. As always, follow us on Twitter at bumblebuttpod and Facebook and Instagram at bumblebuttpodcast. Also, we got us a Patreon.
Hell yeah.
And that is Bumblebutt. That is patreon.com/BumblebuttPodcast.
Subscribe.
Go do it.
Just got February's prints in the mail today. So
Well, excellent.
they'll be out probably this week.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hell yeah.
Have you have people been sending you pictures of Adam's Game Corner?
They have.
Perfect.
They have.
Good. So they've gotten everywhere they need to be.
Someone in particular showed me they've framed all of the prints, have them all on a shelf. And I said, we should probably do that in this studio here.
Yes.
Figure out a way to do that somehow.
Yeah.
No, we just have loose ones kind of hanging around.
One's in my mouse pad.
See, we'll figure out a way. Maybe we'll hang them like on the wall here or something.
I think that's
we definitely need to do that.
That's so great because it's
it was
like
sweet.
That's exactly what I wanted people to do with this collector's card idea is to do something like that. We don't deserve it, but
No, we
I
don't.
appreciate
No,
it.
not at
100%.
all.
So go do that. Sign up. Become Wrath.
Hell yeah.
Also,
Wrath of the Grapes? What is this, the Dust Storm movie?
Wrath of the Grapes. The Grapes of Wrath.
The Grapes of Wrath. Okay.
Wrath of the Grapes.
That's a good horror movie. everyone should
Holy
watch.
shit. All right.
You're not turning us into wine. We stop you.
Now it's time for the most important part of the show, at least if you ask Cody, the iTunes reviews.
It looks like Jordan's threats are paying off because we got one more
Good.
written review.
We got a writ.
Hell yeah.
You're going to have to keep threatening him, though.
Oh,
You
don't
can't
worry.
slow down on the threatens. This is from Tamara Till the Break of Dawn. Tamara Till the Break of Dawn.
Tomorrow till the break of dawn. You know that song? Tomorrow I'll be gone.
Oh, yeah. I love that
Sing
song.
tonight.
Yeah.
It says,
Tomorrow never comes.
Is that Sugar Ray? No.
no.
I don't know.
They had like one song. I don't
That
know
one?
who that is.
Anyway, on to the person
Okay.
that's safe from my threat.
Okay, who is this? Tamira till
Tamara Till the Break
the
of Dawn. Says, nice work, 5 stars. The show was random, in a good way,
Yeah.
yet they kept me engaged and
Yeah.
made me laugh.
Yeah.
Looking forward to listening to more episodes.
Yeah.
Exclamation points.
Yes.
So thank
Hell
you very
yeah.
much.
Thank
Tamira, you're a queen of my life.
You're queen of the Break of Dawn.
That's right.
That's what it is.
So that's what we had, and we had a non-written, but
Yeah, it
Oh,
disappeared.
yes. So,
perfect.
It got smuggled out of the country.
my
didn't it?
rage and threats have been quelled for a day.
One
they
day.
come back
One day.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Stronger than ever.
the fire burns again.
I know you're out there.
That's right.
I know you have access to a computer or a phone.
That's right.
it
you
takes
little-
seconds.
You
Yeah.
little slag.
That's it.
All right, kids. Well, that's going to do it for all of us here at Bumblebutt Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Adam. That's, of course, been Jordan. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Adam.
And that's been Cody. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Adam.
Stay tuned for Charles Lawrence Part 3.
Hell yeah.
And have a nice weekend. Unless it's Tuesday.
Oh, like a girl.
Oh, boy.